Speaking Task 1. You will be asked a question about a familiar topic. You will then have 15 seconds to prepare your response, and 45 seconds to speak.
Which of the following companies would you prefer to work for? A company that offers you challenging and interesting projects but very few vacation days, or a company that offers you a job with boring work each day, but long vacations each year?
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
I would prefer to work for a company that offers challenging and interesting projects, even if it means having fewer vacation days. I believe that interesting work can provide a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment that makes every day feel lively and exciting. Having challenges to face at work helps to improve my skills and knowledge, which can contribute to my personal growth and career advancement in the long term. While vacations are nice, they are temporary. A boring job, on the other hand, is something I have to deal with on a daily basis, which can lead to dissatisfaction and loss of motivation. Therefore, I would choose a challenging job over a boring one with long vacations.
Speaking Task 2. You will read a short paragraph and then listen to a conversation between two people. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the conversation between two people.
Did you read the announcement?
Yes, I did, and I really don't see the benefits that they stated.
What do you mean?
Well, first off, they say that this will allow us easier access to the resources, and I don't see that we need better access. The computers we had before were already fast enough, and their connection to the scanners and the printers worked just fine. If they really wanted to help us, they should have given us more of those small conference rooms that we use when we work on group assignments.
But don't you think that it would be great to have cool new computers?
Well, we don't own those computers. They stay in the library.
That is true.
Also, the fact that they want to improve our digital literacy, I don't think there is any need for that. I mean, the university doesn't need to help us there. Practically every student has their own laptop, and it's kind of fashionable to know about the latest gadgets or to own it if you can. We are improving our own digital literacy just fine.
I think the university can help us a bit. I really want to see if these new computers will be as good as they say.
I guess it doesn't hurt to wait and see.
What does the male student think about the new computers in the library?
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The male student is not convinced about the benefits of the new computers in the library. He believes that the current computers are already fast enough and the connection to the scanners and printers is fine. He thinks that if the university wanted to help students, they should have provided more small conference rooms for group assignments. He also doesn't think there is a need for the university to improve students' digital literacy because most students have their own laptops and are already familiar with the latest technology. He feels that owning the latest gadgets is fashionable and students are already improving their own digital literacy. However, he agrees that it doesn't hurt to wait and see if the new computers will actually be as good as they claim.
Speaking Task 3. You will read a short paragraph about an academic topic, then listen to a lecture about it. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the lecture.
Understanding opportunity cost can help us make better decisions about how to allocate scarce resources in the best possible way to achieve our aims. Let me give you a realistic example of how opportunity cost works in a common situation. Assume you are a student and you have $20 to spend. You can decide between buying a book or going to a concert. You choose to buy the book. In this case, the opportunity cost is the fun and enjoyment you would have derived from attending the concert. Another example is in terms of time. Let's say you decided to spend 2 hours working out in a gym instead of studying for an upcoming exam. The opportunity cost in this scenario is getting a better grade on the exam. In both examples, a choice needs to be made in order to gain something. But remember that something else is being given up. That something else, the concert experience or the better exam grade, is the opportunity cost.
Using examples given in the lecture, explain the concept of opportunity cost.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
In the lecture, the speaker talks about opportunity cost and how it helps us make better decisions. They give 2 examples to explain this concept. One example is about a student who has $20 to spend and can choose between buying a book or going to a concert. They decide to buy the book, so the opportunity cost is the fun and enjoyment they would have had at the concert. The second example is about a student who spends 2 hours working out instead of studying for an exam. The opportunity cost in this case is getting a better grade on the exam. These examples show that when we make a choice, we have to give up something else. This is called the opportunity cost. So, it's important to think about what we might be giving up before making a decision.
You will listen to a lecture about an academic topic. After, you will get a question about what you heard. You will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. Now listen to the lecture.
Marine plankton are some of the most important, some would argue even the most important, microorganisms that live in the ocean. It is not well known that the plankton have a lot of diversity. They don't just live in oceans, but they can also be found in rivers and in lakes. They can also be divided into two main groups, phytoplankton and zooplankton. Today we will be focusing on the former since they are more interesting to us. They perform functions without which life as we know it would not be the same. Phytoplankton are photosynthetic and they are responsible for the production of the majority of the oxygen in the oceans. If we could snap our fingers and remove them from the world, we would have a disastrous effect. It will do to the marine life what the asteroid did to the dinosaurs. The other important function that they perform is that they are the base of the food chain. Here, the previously mentioned zooplankton come into focus again. The zooplankton feed on the phytoplankton, and then the zooplankton are eaten by other small animals, the same small animals which are on the menu of bigger ones. So, not only would marine life suffocate without these little organisms, but they would also starve without them. This is why we really need to be careful with how we conduct ourselves. Human activity has placed a lot of strain on nature, and these microorganisms are feeling the pressure. Our waste and energy consumption has contributed to the disruption of the ecosystem in which phytoplankton live, and if we are not careful, there might be some dire consequences.
What are the vital roles of phytoplankton? Include points and examples from the lecture.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The lecture discusses the important role of phytoplankton in the ocean ecosystem. Firstly, phytoplankton are photosynthetic organisms that produce the majority of oxygen in the oceans. If we were to remove them, it would have a disastrous effect, similar to what happened to the dinosaurs when an asteroid hit the Earth. Secondly, phytoplankton serve as the base of the food chain. Zooplankton feed on phytoplankton, and then other small animals feed on the zooplankton. This creates a chain reaction, where bigger animals rely on the smaller ones. Without phytoplankton, marine life would suffocate and starve. Unfortunately, human activity has put pressure on these microorganisms. Our waste and energy consumption have disrupted the ecosystem in which phytoplankton live. Therefore, it is crucial for us to be mindful of our actions to prevent dire consequences.